he can't. He's not allowed to win.
Tony's just mad at everything.
He has to put it back in.
Here we go.
Bags. Shrink wrap. That starts with an S. It's
That's
not a character in a game.
You can't
but
do
it
that.
seems like it should be.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. So here we go, guys. These colors are confusing. And here comes the game itself. On this map of Akilon in the top left-hand corner is our pink Protoss.
Oh, that's jayrawr.
I'm going to use the colors.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't use the different colors.
No, you can't. I find that now that it doesn't seem to work. I don't know why that is. So here in confusing colors.
Yep. And who do we have, Dave?
We got Avarice down here, a Zerg player in the bottom right hand of this map. And,
now, in the last game, jayrawr was playing as Terran. Now he's playing as Protoss. jayrawr, you are a confusing man. I have no idea what you're going to be next time.
Are you sure? I'm not sure that was the case.
Wait, jayrawr.
Because he stormed everyone to death. So
wait a second.
Terran doesn't generally
Terran
do that.
was not jayrawr.
No, Terran was.
Are you sure?
Rusco, I want to say.
You're right.
Yeah.
Roxco.
Roscoe.
Rosco
was Terran.
There we go.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. It's late.
It is late.
Man. But that's okay. People make
late.
mistakes. You just have to own up to them and be a boss.
Happens,
so here we go. Protoss is going to be scouting.
Nobody's perfect, right?
Yeah, no one's perfect.
That's what you say.
Except for you.
Yeah, no. Well, granted.
You're amazing.
I'll give you that.
Thank you very much. We see here a Forge Fast Expand coming out from our Protoss player. And, you know, on this map, it's still okay, but really I found with a lot of HOTS maps, it's harder to do Forge Fast Expand just because how large the ramps are.
It is really. A lot of them are very wide open. Some of them have multiple entrances into it. And particularly with the new types of units, I find it's a lot easier to poke at them. With, like, swarm hosts and stuff like that, it's actually... it seems to be a little favorable almost to walling closer because you can take advantage of the photon overcharge or whatever from the mothership core as well.
That thing's crazy. That's some good stuff over there. I like it.
I think it will change it a bit.
It's like a long-range trebuchet on my top of my Nexus. We see the Zerg player grabbing this long third over here as is natural, just because the pylon block was going down here. Let it finish, and just really doesn't want to waste time killing it once that expansion down, because he was going to be going for a quick third base anyways. As you can see, there's been no gas taken, so no quick speed. Meanwhile, the Protoss base also grabbing his Nexus just a little bit behind the Zerg players. And pretty much going to be going to our standard PvZ that we see oh so often.
Yeah, and as you can see here, this really is quite a large ramp to be walling off. You see the position of these pylons, and there's still so much gap to actually fill in here. Another building isn't even going to finish this up.
No, I don't think so. He's going to be at that little gap there, probably just going to put a Zealot there for the spotting.
Yeah.
Here comes 4 Lings, though.
Ling's
going
already
the
on the way. He's going to be safe here with only a few Lings out. If this was a larger number, 8 or something, then obviously they could do a bit of a run by here, but that's not gonna be the case.
Not gonna happen at all. Protoss player actually just waiting for these Zerglings to come up. Might drop a gateway, but probably doesn't even need it, especially with that one cannon there. 4 Lings really aren't gonna get through. At least 2 of them, or at least one of them, is gonna be taken out in the next kind of run by. Meanwhile, Zerg player though is gonna be able to get that second base up, so grabbing his natural place over there, grabbing the gas, gonna be getting some speed, and really just gonna be powering drones until the Protoss player decides to do something.
So it looks like he did take a little bit of a poke up there just to see that there was in fact a cannon in place. One benefit to throwing down that pylon in the natural as well is you get a sense of how many Lings did actually come out.
Oh yeah.
Because you're going to see how many of them went to kill the pylon. Even if he doesn't really reveal them, then it's going to take him longer. So it gives you some hint of what's actually going on there.
For sure. We see the Overlord scouting by Avarice is going to be going around trying to see what sort of tech our Protoss player is going to choose, which will probably be placed down, especially after this Cybernetic score is finished. One brave Zealot going out. So brave.
Yeah, he's going
you
on a little
being that
adventure.
first Zealot.
Going on a bit of an adventure.
You alone go outside into the wilderness and
I think
fight.
sometimes you can just do that to check if your opponent's paying attention. If he's not, the Lings are just going to come in, drag him back up to the cannons.
That's true, yeah.
And then they lose those for nothing.
But I mean, like these players, they've experienced this game for so much that they're not going to do something silly like that. Now, putting the Robo right under the vision of our Overlord.
Yeah,
here.
that's a little in your face. Yeah.
Say, I don't care if you scout it. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
Do what I want. You can't tell me what to do.
Exactly.
Sassy Protoss over here.
It certainly is sassy. That's the word I would use.
Yeah.
Personally.
You just put it down in your face, do whatever you want. Here comes the Stalker though, going to be able to target down that Overlord. Actually, not going to supply block our Zerg. Actually, yeah, going to supply block our Zerg player. Did not have an extra Overlord in production right now. Actually, no, it does have 2.
Yeah. It does bring him close. I mean, there are a lot of larvae out on the ground right now, and he does have the money to spend, but obviously cannot proceed with that.
Nope, cannot.
Yeah. We got 600 minerals actually piling up right now for the Zerg player.
Nice micro.
He's able to pick off that Zealot that was probably going down to, again, take another peek at what was outside. Lings do finish speed and roaring in and may pick off this Stalker as well. Tries to run back to the cannon, but I don't think he's going to make it now.
Oh, that's pretty good for the Lings over there. You know, picking off that Stalker, really losing those extra units as a Protoss player early on in the game is actually really bad.
Yeah.
You don't like it.
I mean, I think the only thing sitting on the map right now really is that one sentry.
Oh,
just kind of hanging around. He's got a bro.
Yeah. Gonna be putting the sentries in a pretty good position, favorable. Gonna be starting to maybe trying to grab a third base. I mean, he is getting +1 weapons. It could be a mortal sentry. That's something I haven't seen in a while, especially on this map. There's not too many places for good force fields. It's a very open map.
This can be a bit of a tough one to push off. There's 2 ways to kind of get around the force pushing across and get behind everything.
But it looks like that's something that jayrawr wants to do. He is going to be making immortals now. The real tell will be if he does drop those extra gates. In terms of workers, though, Zerg is slowly pulling ahead. Just going to be droning up all he's making. And here comes the Spire. And really, the Spire tech is actually a pretty good play against any sort of Robotech, especially if you're not getting blink for your Stalkers. Very hard to catch those Muralisks.
Yeah, that is very true. Both of them are stockpiling a lot of money, although it looks like the Zerg player may be doing that with good reason, thinking that he's going to go up to a handful of mutas all at once, provided he can deal, obviously, with this Zealot harassment, which is coming to his 3rd, which he did, of course, take into this first expansion.
And you can see the Zealots all in a pretty favorable position over here. Only a couple of units, actually still getting a pretty good surround by these Zerglings, but you know, that +1 finishes, they're going to be able to take the Zerglings down even faster than before. And with this pylon, the reinforcements are still pretty fast, taking out all the Zerglings right now. Quite cost effective is going to be out now, attacking the hatchery.
And he will, at some point, clean this up, but with 10 mutas coming out, I don't know what the Protoss actually has in his own base to deal with this at the time. He's going to put cannons up. It's fortuitous to him that he did have the Zealots out there because he got to see the Mutalisks actually pop out. If he saw them when they showed up at his base, that would certainly be of a greater concern.
For sure, the anti-air isn't looking too great for our Protoss player here, only sitting on a couple Stalkers. Here come the 10 mutas though. Oh, the harassment is coming. Actually going to fly around the natural, not going to go straight for it. Running into a couple Stalkers here, getting a couple shots on the Stalker. Stalker's actually not attacking at all. Let's get a couple shots. One Stalker does go down cheaply to that Mutaflock.
Definitely these are improved a lot in Heart of the Swarm.
They are, I
believe, faster now, move speed 4,
wow,
which is really just quite crazy. And their ability to regenerate a lot quicker than they used to means that you can do these harassments, fly in, take some damage, even potentially take a storm from the Protoss player, get out, fly around, and still be all right to come back.
This next cancel, no cancel coming down for jayrawr here, losing a lot of minerals. And that's not going to be too nice for him. He's not going to be very happy about that. We see in the back of the base, Blink Stalkers are being researched.
I believe Lings pushing in the front, just trying to take a poke to see what he could get that army out of position while the Mutalisks come back in, force another cancel, or I guess a first cancel on that Nexus.
And it looks like the Baneling tech is what's going to be going up next for Avarice over here. Banelings are going to be quite effective against this army, especially if they all get blocked out. Now, using those destructible rocks, destroying them and making a blockade for his army, really helpful and sealing off that 3rd. So very nice there. Hallucinate Phoenix, now not requiring research, going to be scouting around the whole entire map, seeing exactly what our Zerg player is going to be going for, and he's probably going to be able to see this Baneling nest. Blink Stalkers are almost done though, and actually the Phoenix is going to stop right here. Mutas once again going in. Will he get a Nexus again? Nope, but it looks like the army is in position.
It looks a little too complete at this point. The key before was he caught it so low that he only needed a couple hits. He could afford to take a little damage.
For sure, it looks like...
The Lings are just going in. I think at this point, really just verifying.
Someone did not do their job.
The Zealot a little out of position. That could be disastrous. The Mutas are definitely going to want to come back in. I'm not sure where they are at this moment.
Mutas are right here, back at
Mutas
base.
are way back home. I don't think he expected to get in there. I think he was just taking a look to see if the structure was still the same so that he could morph into the banelings.
Exactly.
And then hit at the same time.
And it looks like here comes the Mutalist again. They're going to be started. Oh, that's a lot of Mutas. Really need some Storm for that. This Nexus is most likely going to go down.
Is he going to cancel this? He could certainly sacrifice a few of these.
Oh, nice pylon snipe there, canceling
and
all those
he's able to
doctors.
actually kill the Nexus before getting out. Does take some damage there, some loss on the Mutas, and we can see that Storm is now being researched by our Protoss player. He's going to have something to deal with that ever-increasing number, but the Lings just get in there again, a little indecisive on what they're actually doing.
Nice force field though.
In and out, in and out. I feel if he had just guarded in one area, he could have pulled a lot more of the army out of position.
Oh, man.
And then these Mutas would have had a little bit more range again in that third base area.
I mean, with this number of Mutas, it starts getting to that point where they're bouncing blades, just do so much damage. Even your Stalkers here can't really trade cost effectively with this Mutas anymore. Really need that Storm, need that AoE damage. That's exactly what our Protoss player's getting. But really, he's been starved. He's been sitting on these two bases for such a long time. 50 minutes into the game, Zerg, however, grabbing their fourth and just continuously harassing. Can't really do too much. Really wants to grab this third.
Yeah, the key here was going to be to catch him off guard with one or two like really well-placed storms. I think there's a few Templar out on the map right now, and they have been building up energy for a little bit around the time that he started the storms. But he's just not able to get a third base established here, while the Zerg is now taking his fourth.
Yep. And look at that, one more hit. Nope, does not actually go for the Cybernetics core, but the army of the Protoss player defending it. These units are just hanging around, and they can just, bypass all of that terrain that they need to, since they fly. I mean, what are you going to do as a Protoss player? More pylons going down, actually going to be taking out. Nice cancel over there, actually catching a couple of minerals. And the Mutas are really just baiting this army around and letting the Zerg have that freedom to tech up to anything that they want.
Yeah, and that's always the danger here. There's just so much to contain. There's even a supply block here that's been going on for 30 or 40 seconds, and he just can't even seem to get pylons on.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about this engagement. If he does drop a storm on this pack of Mutalist,
oh, this is actually huge.
I think that second one missed it a little bit. If he has a third to go down, but I don't think he does, this may just be an overwhelming number. He was actually able to virtually tank those storms.
And there it
still
goes.
come out ahead here. We do get the tap out, and Avarice is going